and welcome back to my cross stitching channel. Today is Sunday, October 30th, and this is Flosstube number 22, I believe. So I have a lot to go over today. I'm not quite sure how long it'll take. Might be a little bit longer than my normal videos, but I have a lot to talk about because I have a normal WIP update. I went to the Stitch West retreat last weekend, and I had considered doing like a whole separate video for that, but I just decided to put it all together. It was just easier for me. So I'm gonna first go over all of my WIPs and everything, my normal update, and then I will talk about all the Stitch West stuff at the end. So if you're not interested in that, then you can just watch the first part and you're good. So this last couple of weeks, it's been 2 weeks. I worked on 9 projects, and I did have 1 new start. So we will go ahead and just jump right into my WIPs. The first thing I worked on was Fruits of Plenty. And this was the 2021 Stitch Along from Modern Folk Embroidery. And just a quick thing, I did switch up, as you could probably see if you've watched my other videos, I switched up my filming location again. It's the same room. I just was hoping that with the window in front of me, it would be better with the lighting. So hopefully that's better for you guys this time around. Anyway, so I am stitching mine on 18 count white Aida, 2/1 full crosses. And I am using DMC colors 820 and 321. Sorry, got my hair and dog hair everywhere. So this is my progress from last time. And I'm just gonna keep with the up and down comparison here. So I am not 100% sure how many stitches I got on this. This is one of the things that I stitched on while I was at Stitch West, and I was not bothering with writing down any stitches or anything. I won't really have the numbers this time either. I'm still getting into the swing of writing everything down. So this is how far I got. I feel like I did a pretty decent amount, maybe like 500 or 600 stitches total. Fuzzies stuck to it. I think I got about 500 or 600 stitches. I know that I did a lot more work in here. I finished off this whole heart, and then I think I did all of the blue except like this stuff at the top. And then I believe I finished off that triangle as well. Was really feeling this one, and it was really easy to work on something a lot simpler when you're in the midst of 200-ish people trying to have a conversation across the table that you're at and everything. It's easier to have something that's on Aida and only 2 colors. So picked stuff that I was hoping I wouldn't have to pick out and frog and everything later. So fingers crossed I did not mess this up. So I really love how it's coming along. I think my husband said this is his favorite project of mine now that I've finished his video game sampler. So every time I pull it out, he gets all excited to see it. Where did I put the bag? There we go. Sorry. Like I said, new filming location. Still getting used to it. So that was the first thing I worked on. Real quick before I move on, my dog is here with me. Tank had to stay home while my husband is out. He's settled down right now, and he's not in his crate, so you may see a fluffy black figure back there. That's just my dog. So that was the first one. Second was Realm of Middle-earth. And this one is a Tilton crafts chart, which I believe is now retired. I'm stitching mine on 28 count, easy count fabric, I was doing it 10 stitch. Right now I am doing it full, 1/1 full crosses. I'm sorry, you guys, this one's like a blanket, so I'm gonna fold it up a bit. I'm not sure what my deal is with this one, you guys. I love the picture. I love the pattern. I love the colors. It's a very nice pattern to work on. I'm not sure that this fabric is doing it for me anymore. I have restarted this one 3 times already. And it's by far my largest project. And so it's like every time I keep restarting, the clock starts over. I don't know. I enjoyed working on it again, but there's just, I don't know if you guys ever had that where you really love the pattern and everything, but there's just something about it that's not clicking with you. And so it's harder for you to work on it. And I feel like I'm still struggling with that. So I have a theory about the fact that I really am preferring 25 count to everything these days. And I think that may be the problem. But I don't know. I really don't want to restart this one again. But this is my progress from last time. There's so much fabric here. So this is where we are from last time. I am sorry. I thought the lighting would be better, but I'm worried it's actually worse. So hopefully you guys can see it okay. So I got rid of the parking. This is the only one I was parking on last time. I got rid of it. I just don't think I'm a parking kind of person. I really prefer cross country. There's something in my brain that just really dislikes those hanging threads, so I got rid of it again. So we'll see if this one gets restarted again. I really want to stitch this one, but when you are, and if you're not a full coverage stitcher, you may not have had to consider it. I mean, I'm sure that people restart things all the time when it's a smaller project, but as a big project, with the amount of time and effort that you invest into it, you just have to make sure you've got the right combination of whatever it is, like the fabric and the threads and everything. And if you don't, then it doesn't get done. And so I need to just figure out what my deal is with that. So anyway, all that to say, that is Realm of Middle Earth. That was my second thing I worked on. And number 3 is Pandemic. This is a Long Dog Samplers chart. I'm stitching mine on 28 count Helix Lugana by Picture This Plus. And I'm using DMC color 939. And I believe, if I'm remembering right, sometimes when I post things, I forget that I didn't, or I just forget whether I like mention it on Instagram or in my video, but I'm pretty sure I have a page finish from last time. I'm going to try really hard to get this. So I'm going to show you the whole thing, and then I will focus in on what I worked on. So here is the whole project together. I have finished 12 of 20 pages. So I just finished off this page down here, back stitching and everything. That's been a nice thing about this project is there's really not, oh my gosh, why is that being so weird? Sorry, I'm trying to get it so you can actually see it without it folding in. That's better. That's been a nice thing about this. There's really not an overwhelming amount of back stitching, so I can move on pretty quickly once a page is done. So I finished that whole bird and heart motif down at the bottom, those bands, which is a lot more stitches than I thought it would be. I'm gonna hold it in a little bit so you can see. Like, I enjoy looking at this one a little more up close. So this bottom one is where I was at. At this point, I'll do the comparison of before and after. So I finished this whole page right here. I didn't have a ton left, but it was more than I thought. It took me a few days, probably 3 or 4 days to finish off the page. I think it was three days. Definitely come back to this one soon. I am I don't know if it'll happen, but I was trying to get another row finished before the end of the year. That is still 3 more pages. So I'd have to finish a page and a half each month to get this row done. We'll see. I've got a new start and some other things that I might be bringing into my rotation. So if it gets done, it gets done. But I have not once found this project tedious. I do get burnt out with the one color occasionally, but overall it's just a fun thing to stitch on. That was my pandemic. Sorry, I'm trying to keep this all somewhat organized so I don't have a gigantic mess at the end. All right, so that was number 3. Number 4 was Loyalty, Mini Loyalty, which is a Heaven and Earth Designs chart. The artist is Cherie, Gerhardt. Oh, jeez. Just dropping stuff left and right here. I'm stitching mine on 28 count Lugana, 1/1 full crosses, and it looks like, oh jeez, what did I do? Looks like I moved the frame a little bit, so you won't be able to see all the way over, but here is where we were at from last time. Pretty confident. I was just filling in a bunch more of this stuff. And then I was converting it. So my new favorite technique, which who knows how long that'll last, but my new favorite thing to do is to go across, just start at the top of wherever I'm working. And each 10 by 10 square, I pick all of the symbols until the square is filled, and I just take the symbols wherever they go. And then I move to the next 10 by 10, next 10 by 10, and I just keep doing that across until I run out of colors, and then I come back to this side. Sometimes I do it by pages. This one I was kind of just going, I think I was maybe doing a page, but I was just kind of going until the stitches ran out, because this is the halfway point in the whole piece. And so I'm pretty close to the other side at this point. I'm not sure I had left myself enough room to get all the way over there though. But I filled in a bunch of this and then decided to come up here and do that. This one, so there are a bunch of challenges. I don't do challenge groups very much anymore. I used to do them a lot for a while. I think it was last year, 2020, something like that. Yeah, I think it was 2020. I was doing a bunch of challenge groups, and I'm still in Full Coverage Fanatics. And they've just posted a bunch of their yearly stuff for next year. And I may try to put that one in Focus on a Finish, which is one of their challenges, to try and get a full coverage finish in a year. However, I am starting school in January, but I will have the summer off, so I'm not sure if it's realistic to expect myself to finish a full coverage, but if any of them are going to get done, it's that one because it's a mini. So the next thing I worked on, and this was another one I did at Stitch West, was Beloved, which is another Heaven and Earth Designs chart. Artist is Adele Sessler. This one is also on 28 count Lugana 1/1. I apologize, I don't have a grime guard on this, so there's a lot of loose fabric here. So this is where I'm at from last night. I'm not going to take it out so you can see the stuff down here, because I was just up there in that part of his face again. I'm doing the same method on this one. This one I am going just to the edge of the page, because I like to do full coverages mostly by page. The Loyalty is a little bit different because it's so small, but these are so big that the regular size ones are so big that it's just easier to do them by page. So like I said, I was up in here, filled in a lot of dark gray, black, dark brown. I had a lot of compliments on this one when they saw me working on it. If I zoom in a little bit, I mean, you can see that there are lots and lots of different colors in there, even though the darker ones are harder to see. But I don't know where I was going with that. But essentially, it's just like, you don't think there's a lot of colors in this one, but there really are. There's 27 colors. So, I mean, for this amount of detail, for that few colors is awesome. But at the same time, like, you don't realize there is confetti and stuff in this still. So, but I really love how that's turning out. I love seeing, like, the definition in his hair and stuff come out when I finally get some of that confetti in there. So, that is beloved. I believe I got about 400 stitches on this one. The only reason I remember that is because I stopped. I happened to look at my pattern keeper after finishing a length of thread and it said 400. I was like, that's a good stopping point. So somehow I still managed to get 400 stitches even in the midst of talking to everybody. So I'm sorry if you hear any of the squeaking of my chair. It's kind of loud. I don't know if you can actually hear it or not. So the next thing I worked on was Lady Justice, which is a Mirabilia pattern. And this is what she will look like when she's done. Absolutely love this one. I've really been tending towards the fancy ladies lately. You'll see in my haul some of the stuff I got to potentially start some more. But this is the one I'm currently working on. I have kind of set a boundary for myself that I can't start a new fancy lady until I've finished a fancy lady. So we'll see how long if that lasts or how long it takes me to get this done. So I am stitching mine on a 32 count Be Stitch Me Lugana in the color Evil Queen, 2/1. And I'm gonna just show from here up because this is where I was working. So I think I have a close-up of her head from last time. So I was really focused on her hair because I had finished her face in this blindfold, but her hair wasn't quite done yet. Lots of confetti and stuff and these flowers in her hair. But I finished all of the hair color and the flowers. Any gaps you see in here are where there will be some gold beads. So like this line here and the one up here, and then it like wraps through her hair and like comes off. So I'm excited to get those in eventually. And then I just started kind of top down, just working through the top part of her dress. So she doesn't look like a floating head anymore. So. Oh, by the way, this needle minder here was a gift from my friend Christina at Stitchy Symphony on Instagram. She's so sweet. She gave me that. It's like a Lord of the Rings inspired, which is my favorite movie or trilogy of movies. But I can't remember. I'll have to have her tell me again where she got that from because I can't remember now and I don't have the card right next to me, but I will link that below if you guys want to look at it. Really good magnet though. It's really strong. Anywho, the gaps in here are also for beads. But really enjoy working on this one. I need to come back to it now that, because this slowed me down quite a bit doing all of this, the confetti and stuff in her hair. It's not quite as bad down in her dress. It's only like five different shades of green. So same with the blue. But that is Lady Justice. Sorry, I lost what I was doing. The next thing I worked on was Paris of My Dreams, which is another Heaven and Earth Designs chart. Artist is Leonid Afremov. And mine is stitched on 25 count, 2/110 stitch. This is the only one I have on 10 stitch right now. And I absolutely love it. Which is part of why, yeah, where I was talking about on my Middle Earth, I'm really feeling the 25 count. This one I really, really enjoyed working on. So this is where we're at from last time. I believe, I know I did several hundred stitches. I was doing that same method going across the top and just filling things in as I went. This one actually, instead of just doing each block straight across, I was doing diagonal blocks. I don't know, guys. My brain works in mysterious ways. I don't understand why I can't do the same thing on every project. So I was doing like this 10 by 10, then this one, and just kind of going down. So that's why it's like mostly filled in this way. It was really fun. I started to get some greens and some more blues and stuff in there. Absolutely love how that looks. I'm excited to get farther into this page. So I was stopping at the page break though, which is right here. Yeah, I'm excited to get this page done. So I can get a little bit closer, because as we move this farther this way, it gets brighter and brighter. So the edges are always very dark. That is Paris of My Dreams. Really enjoy that one. I think I worked on this one for only just a couple of days. All right. So my last WIP was Twist and Band Sampler, which I have not pulled out in a very long time. And I finally decided to pull it out and finish the band I was working on. Let's see if I can show this without a glare. So this is the Twisted Band Sampler by Northern Expressions Needlework. And I just finished band 6, so that was this one right here, half orange, half the gold color. So I have everything from here up done. And I hit the corner of the pattern on the other side. So that's exciting. I'm in the longest, the section of the bands that is the longest. So these will take me even more time to get done. But I was getting kind of tired of this orange, so I was glad I could move out of it into the gold color. Sorry if I shook that. Okay. So I'm stitching this on a 32 count white Lugana 2/1 full cross. No. Yeah, 2/1 full cross for the cross stitches, but this does have specialty stitches in it, and I use 1 strand for those. It's getting easier and easier not to show this the wrong way. So this is where we are at from last time. Hold it back just a bit. Like I said, I have finished band 6 now, and there are 17 bands total. So about almost, yeah, just over a third of the way done. Math. Absolutely love the colors on this one. If you guys like rainbow colors or like really bright colored things, this is a lot of fun. I'm going to bring it in a little bit to hopefully be able to show you the specialty stitches a little bit better. Hopefully you can see that. So there were four different specialty stitches in this band. I went over them last time. I showed them to you. If you want to know what they're called, then you can look at that one. I didn't pull the paper out, so I don't know when I'll come back to this one. It is a lot. I was getting super burnt out on this specialty stitch band. I love the way it looks, and it's fun while I'm doing it, but I get tired of it kind of quickly. So I don't know if specialty stitches are my thing, but it's been nice to try some new stuff. But now that I'm back in a cross-stitching band, it may be easier for me to come back to this, so we'll see. So those were all of my WIPs that I had already had started previously. And I did have one new start. A lovely subscriber of mine, I hope she doesn't mind, her name's Gwen. She sent me a gift card as a wedding present, because I had mentioned in my last video that my husband and I had gotten married. She's so sweet. She sent me a gift card to 123 Stitch, and I decided to buy some stuff with that to start a wedding sampler for me and my husband. So I will show you here what it looks like. I picked it's called the Crowned Heart, a wedding sampler by Modern Folk Embroidery, because I love Jacob's patterns. And then I ended up stitching this on a 25 count opalescent white fabric. And I am using DMC color, I believe it's 92. So it's a variegated green, just really dark greens all the way to really light green, which I think is just beautiful. Green is my favorite color, and it was the color of my dress, so this is our start here. Hopefully you can kind of see the shimmer from the opalescent. That's been really fun. I've never worked on a shiny fabric before, so that's been fun for me. I got, I think, just under 400 stitches in on this one. And I like the variegation. I like the way it looks. I'm a little concerned right here. It got really, really light. And so I'm not sure. Maybe you guys can give your opinion on if I should use that lightest color. I'm worried that it's not gonna show up very well. Like in person even. I don't know. It's really, really light. And against the white fabric, like if I had a dark fabric, it would be looking just fine. But I don't know. Maybe you guys can give your opinion on if it looks okay. This is the first time I've done variegation. Used variegated floss. So this has been kind of an interesting experience for me. But I do love the way it looks. So I started up in the left corner. And I got, this is the full motif in the corner. It's all the way done. So that is my new start. And I'm excited to work on that. My husband really likes the pattern and the stuff I chose to stitch it. So hopefully I can get that done sooner rather than later. I would at least like to have it done by our 1st anniversary. So I have till next September to get that done. And it's only like 25,000 stitches, which to a lot of people is like, only? But to me, that's not very many. And it doesn't take me very long to get there, so I think I could get it done by our 1st anniversary for sure. Oh, that's shiny. Christina, I got the shiny. My friend Christina, I mentioned her just a minute ago. She loves shiny things. She loves the metallics, the opalescent, all the shiny things. And so she was really excited when she heard I got a shiny fabric to stitch that. So. All right, so that is all of the stuff I've worked on in the last couple of weeks. I think it's time to move into Stitch West / haul. I'm just gonna smush it all together because I have so much stuff sitting here that it's gonna kind of bleed over each other. So I went to Stitch West 2 weeks ago, the weekend of the 21st to the 23rd, I believe. So I'm just going to kind of briefly go over my experience with it. If you want to have some more in-depth like video footage and stuff, I did not take any video. I felt really awkward. I didn't want people to feel like they had to be in my video. And I was never there early enough to get video of like the brag table or like vendor tables and stuff. So I felt a little awkward taking video. So I do have some pictures, which I will insert as I'm talking. But yeah, if you want more videos, my friend Jen, the backcountry stitcher, has a lot of good video. Renee, the Appalachian stitcher, she did some vlog style stuff, which was fun to watch. And then, is that the only two? I know that like several other people have talked about Stitch West. So just Google Stitch West 2022. You will find something. Or you search on YouTube. So I'm not going to have any of like that footage, but I'm just going to kind of go over my own thoughts and feelings and everything about it. So on Friday, I did have to work. So the actual stitching room and the registration and everything opened at noon. And so I had to work in the morning. I live locally here in Utah. I live down in Provo, and the retreat was being held in Salt Lake. So I decided not to stay up there. I drove back and forth every day. But the first day I had to work in the morning, and I didn't get there until about maybe 12:45. I was super nervous. I struggle a bit in social situations, and I had to really talk myself into not backing out of going. And so I got there 12:45, and went into the stitching room, which I was like shocked. I was like, this has been open for 45 minutes and it's full of stitchers. Like, they're everywhere. And I saw some people, later I realized the badges they were wearing, that indicated they were part of the retreat too. I was like, I have been seeing people all over the hotel. Like, there are stitchers everywhere, which was insane. Like, the only person I knew in my own in my personal life that had stitched, other than the friends I've made, was my sister. And it's like, you see these groups with thousands of people in it, which would indicate there are a lot of stitchers, but you don't really like connect it in your brain until you see a room full of them. So that was really fun for me to see, just like how many people enjoy the same hobby that I do. It was like really validating somehow. I don't know. It was just fun to be able to share with like other people and know that they were all just excited to be there and doing what we were doing as I was. So yeah, walked in, there's like 20 tables full of people. Renee, the Appalachian stitcher, she flagged me down. We had decided beforehand, we had been chatting through Instagram with a few different people that we would all sit together. So that was also really nice for me, that I didn't have to try to find a place to sit, that we kind of had a predetermined thing. So we had the main people that we had decided beforehand at our table were Renee, and I will link everybody's channels or Instagrams down below so you can find them if you'd like to see what they're working on. But there's Renee, the Appalachian Stitcher, Jen from Backcountry Stitcher. brain blip there. So there was also, Renee had a friend come with her. Then there was Rhonda. I just had met her that day. She's from Colorado. Then we had Julie from Stitching at the Cabin, Christina, like I said, stitchysymphony. And then Julie had someone also from California where they were at, that came with her. So there was initially 8 of us already slated to sit at our table. And then we had 2 other people, really nice women. Their names were Cherie and Gerhardt. Super nice people. That it was just a joy to be at our table. There were so many just lovely people, really funny, lots of laughing and lots of joking around and sarcasm and stuff like that. So that was just, it was fun to be at a table full of people that were just there to have fun. And we were all a little bit, introverted and awkward. So I think that made it easier too. So anyway, but I got there on Friday afternoon. And we stitched, I stayed there till 7:30-ish the first night. I was there till after 8 o'clock on Saturday, and then I left around 6:30 on Sunday. So I tried to stay later, but I had a 45-minute drive to get home, so I didn't want to be out super late, especially because the weather, oh my gosh, you guys, like we went from like 70 degrees and really nice and clear and sun, and we just plummeted into a snowstorm. So it was like 40s by the time it was over. We had a lot of drama with that. Apparently so we were in a big ballroom and there was a big glass covering over the top. There ended up being a leak from the rain that started happening on Saturday, which set off apparently a fire alarm. We all ended up outside when that happened. And then on Sunday, it was just freezing cold. That was kind of an adventure. I was glad that I had brought a jacket with me. But anyway, so the stitching was super fun. I got to, Renee, the Appalachian Stitcher I'm just going to say Renee because that's a lot of words. Renee brought a pattern, a Teresa Kogut pattern, that I got to stitch on, which was fun. She was passing it around so everybody could have a chance at it. But, it was just so much fun, you guys. If you ever have a chance to go to a retreat, I highly recommend that you do it. It's just stitching and chatting and getting to know people from all different places and walks of life and their experiences you know, it's just fun to hear from people who are from, you know, in Utah especially, it seems like there's not a super varied population of people. So it's nice to meet people from like outside different states and different parts of the country and things. So it's just fun. It was fun. Like I showed you, I did take a few projects that I did manage to get some stitching done in the midst of all of that. But there were a ton of other floss tubers and things that were there. I'll just list off a few that I can remember. Brenda from Handwork Maniac. I sat down and chatted for a bit with Colette from the Highway Stitcher. Those are both Utah Stitchers as well. They just live minutes away from me. There was the Tattooed Reading Owl. Pam and Steph from Just Keep Stitching. Deb and Kef from Snug Harbor Crafts they are the ones who actually put the whole retreat on. So they were there. It was insane, you guys. I did not expect to see that many people that I recognized there either. And people recognized me, which was like it was a trip. I was a little uncomfortable, and nobody was mean. Everybody was so nice. And I'm just introverted, so it was a little uncomfortable for me. I was like, oh, you guys know me already. That's cool. So I hope I made a good impression on people, but super fun. And I'm going to show you all of the fun little goodies that people, and I'll remember some more YouTubers by showing you guys this, but it seemed like everybody, and I felt like I totally missed the memo, but people were dropping off little packets of floss cards. So this is the basic bunch. I haven't actually watched this. There's a few of these channels I haven't watched, but I will now that, you know, I know they exist because my floss tube is kind of a small world. So I got a packet of floss cards from them. I don't know where this came from, but that was another set. These came from the store. It's an Etsy store. What Are You Doing Studio? So I got these. It says cross stitch vibes all day. And then I got a sticker that says cross stitch makes me happy. Truer words have never been printed on something. So I got those. And then I mentioned that the Tattooed Reading Owl was there. She was handing these out. It's like a card and then a little, I think this is a scissor fob. Had a little owl charm. How freaking cute is that, you guys? Let's see if I can get it to show up. Yeah, it's adorable. I think it's a scissor fob. I've never actually bought one before, so got some new things. Those are all like the flossy things I got. And then I got Stitching with the Sisterlies. Was handing out these little needle minders with a needle attached. And then I heard in a different video, because you guys, my stitching's like bubble of what I know as far as designers and like that kind of thing is very small. But I heard that this was a piece of Teresa Kogut pattern or fabric, sorry, that they had attached to that. So that was fun. That's a really cute piece of fabric. I'll have to figure out something to do with that. But because Teresa Kogut, probably should have mentioned this earlier. So there were a couple of designers there. Teresa Kogut was one, and then Jordan is her name, maybe, from the Little Stitch Girl. She was there as well. So I got some more needle minders. This is from Lynn X Stitches. I'm sure most of you have, or at least several of you have probably already heard of her. I believe I follow her on Instagram. I see her stuff every now and then. It's a cute little Snoopy needle minder. And then I am like in love with this Ray. Just so you know, if you watch this, I freaking love this needle minder. Perhaps my favorite one. So I got this from Ray _stitching_sunshine on Instagram. It's a cute little hedgehog. I am in love with that. So cute. And then the last one I got some more things, you guys, but I had so much stuff that people dropped off that I needed to whittle it down a little bit, or this would have gone on forever. And I got this little, I don't know how to show this. This little needle minder from Brenda at the Handwork Maniac. She was handing these out. Cute little leaf on there. So I got all of those things. And then my lovely table mates, I got stuff from all of them. Mostly floss cards and things. I got some candy. Julie from Stitching at the Cabin, she brought a whole box of C's Candy lollipops, which were so good. And then Rhonda gave me a bag full of Werther's candies, and then this was also in it. So it's like a little spoolie thing. She told me that these are good for picking up, like when you have to frog or something, you've got those little bits, like to pick them up off of there. And you can also use it to fluff up like whisper thread, which I've never used before, but I think I have some patterns that call for it. So isn't that cute? So she gave me that. And then Renee. Girl, I feel so inadequate next to Renee sometimes. But she gave me this cute little bag. So she asked us all what our favorite colors were. She gave these out to everybody at the table. So my favorite color is green. But she gave us like a little marking pencil and a little fob or like a keychain so you can put your keys on it, which I still haven't put on my keys, but I'm going to. And then there are a few other things, and then this little baggie, like little charms and stuff. And then she gave us all a, what is this? Color and Cotton? Color and Cotton, I think. This color is Peacock. How pretty is that? So pretty. I love that. I'm gonna have to find something to use for that too. Thank you so much, Renee. I know I said thank you in person, but I still am like reeling from all the stuff that I got from people. So those were all the goodies I got from just people walking around, coming up to our table and talking to us and stuff, which was super fun. And then, as I said before, so the first night, Little Stitch Girl did a small presentation. Both of the designers made special patterns just for the people who are at the retreat. So this is the one that Little Stitch Girl, yeah, her name's Jordan. Yeah, I'm gonna call her Jordan. So she gave this one out to everybody, which was adorable. It usually isn't something that's kind of up my alley, but I'll probably still stitch it. Maybe I could use my peacock color for this. I don't know. We'll see. So it says, a stitcher's life is the life for me. And then it came with like a little needle minder and a scissor fob pattern, which is cool. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's that many colors that are for this one. So that was the first pattern we got on that first night. She gave these out for everybody. And also there were like, we all put our name in a box when we got there, and then for giveaways. And then there was a raffle where you could buy tickets to support. It was a military foundation of some kind. So many people got good stuff. So a couple of my friends at my table got stuff. It was awesome. Doing all sorts of giveaways. And then, so that first night we did Jordan's presentation, Little Stitch Girl. And then on Saturday night, Teresa Koget did a presentation. And she gave us not one, but 3 patterns and kitted one of them up for us, which was insanely generous. So this is the one she actually kitted up for everybody. It's called Seaworthy Sampler. I showed this to Jake. He's my husband. I showed this to Jake, and he was very he was very amused by these little grumpy looking whales at the bottom. So he wants me to start this one, which I probably will soon. We'll see. I did just start the wedding sampler, and I finished 3 patterns just to start another one. So, but that's the way it goes, isn't it? So that's the first one she gave out to everybody. So that was Seaworthy Sampler. And then the second one was Under the Sea, which is like a smaller version. A mermaid and another whale. And if I can find a picture of the third one, because this didn't actually have the cover photo of the third one, but it's just a mermaid by herself. It's called Ariel, so like the Little Mermaid. But I'll insert that one after. So this was the second one, and then I'll insert the third one if I can find a picture of it. I think a couple of people had posted it on Instagram. Let's see if I can find it. And then on top of that, of just the patterns, like I said, she kitted one up entirely. So fabric, 32 count linen, I believe. I'm not sure what the color. It's like a really pretty like gray, blue gray. Yeah, you can't really see the blue very well, but yeah. And then all the threads are there. And then these came in at 2. She gave us some like stickers, and this is I don't know, some sort of information card where it's like stitched by when you started and finished and what the fabric was. So that's the little sticker she gave us. And there's like a business card that she gave us, which is cute. And then I think these are just some more stickers. This is her like logo. And then she gave us this adorable little needle minder, which is a mermaid. I still haven't tested this out. Apparently there was some sort of mishap where she had to redo some of the magnets on the back. And she wasn't sure if they'd be strong enough at this point to actually hold anything. So we'll see if it works. And then along with all of, kitting the whole thing up, because as if that weren't enough, she gave us a ring of floss cards, which are like bits of the patterns to put the colors on. And then they have this like little charm thingy. It's like a little compass. I'm not sure what that is exactly. But yeah, a ring for all of the floss. This has been a new experience for me. I don't use floss drops. I'm kind of old-fashioned that way. I don't know if that's old-fashioned, but that's the way I was taught, was bobbins in a box. And so this has been kind of fun. Like I finally, this is the first floss drop I've ever like put together. It's been interesting trying to figure that out. It's not that complicated. I'm making it complicated. So that was all the stuff I got during the retreat. There's also a vendor room. Like, you guys are trying to make us go bankrupt, right? Yeah, that's what's happening. So on top of all of that, I went to the vendor room. I did restrain myself more than other people for the most part. Oh shoot. I forgot to pull out my cross-stitching shirt that I got from them. They had shirts that, I think it says, "A day spent cross-stitching is a good day." If I can take a picture and insert it later, I will. But I got that shirt, because you have to get the shirt to commemorate. And then I made a stop by Under the Sea Fabrics. And I bought some stuff. So I believe all of these are Lugana 32 count. So, sorry, I was just seeing if there's any extra information. So I bought 5 pieces of fabric, and these are like the ones that, sorry, I'm trying not to run over the dog, but I've got to back up a little bit. So I'm trying to contain myself from starting a bunch of fancy ladies, because I bought these for that. Here's the first one. This one's called Mermaid Sea. And a mermaid is not going on this. I've looked through all the mermaids. I'm just not a mermaid person. But I love the splotchy blue. It's so pretty. So that's the first one. And the second one I bought is called HAED, I think. This one is like purple blue, and those are showing up pretty true to color, which is nice. A little bit washed out, but get closer. So it's light blue, purple, and pink. Not entirely sure This one was kind of like on the fence, and I bought it because I just really liked the colors. I didn't necessarily know what was going to go on it. So that was the second one. If I didn't mention, I think I said I bought five pieces. This one is called Gaia. I am not a peach pink person usually, like 99% of the time, but I thought this was really pretty and it would look really nice with the colorful fancy lady on it. I think, I don't know, these dye jobs are just so pretty. I had such a hard time. Like, you can ask anybody else who was there at the table with me. I had like a stack of like 10 different fabrics at the beginning, and I had to whittle it down. It was very difficult for me to do that. The next one I got was Calypso's K. And this one's kind of another sea-ish one. It's got like blue and like a teal. Kind of a, yeah, it's like a turquoisey green blue. Love that one too. I was like, oh, I should buy neutrals. What did I come home with? A bunch of colored fabric. That's okay. Blue is kind of neutral, right? And then the last one I got was Ghoulish. So this is a purple. Oh, that green is washing out bad. Well, it's like a minty, not even a mint. It's like a green. See, it looks kind of colorless in the green spots, but it's like that, I don't know, kind of a little bit darker than a mint with the purple. I'm sure they have like pictures online of what they look like, but yeah. That makes me sad. You can't see the green very well. But yeah, it's like a green purple. I just smacked myself in the face with the tag. Anyway, so those are my fabrics. Then now I have to decide what I'm stitching on them. I'm really tempted to buy, you know, I've been holding off on buying a lot of the Mirabilias, but I actually noticed that they've discontinued at least one that I had my eye on that was kind of like a maybe, and I went back to look on it and I figured out it was discontinued. So I'm like feeling a little bit of pressure to buy those before, if I want to stitch them before they get discontinued. So we'll see. Might have some more haul next time, because that's what I need is more stuff. But anyway, I've been talking for almost an hour. I'm going to call it for today. I still need to go do some dishes, and then we're going over to Jake's grandparents for dinner. So I have other stuff that I should probably be doing. So I'm going to leave it there today. Thank you so much if you got this far. I greatly appreciate every single person who takes time out of their day to sit and watch my video and catch up with me. So I hope every one of you is staying safe, healthy, and is enjoying their stitching, and I will catch you next time. Bye.